Wow, who could doubt Leo Messi? Some people were asking questions after he went 4 games without a goal. But on Saturday, shut them all up. 4 goals in a crushing 5-0 win over Éibar. Made a great weekend for us, didn't it? We're back on top of the league. We had a very good, promising debut from Martin Braithwaite. And we also overtook Real Madrid in the all-time record goal scorers in the league. We now have 6,151 goals to Real Madrid's 6,150. And this is something Real Madrid have been dominating since the early 1960s. They had something like 130 goal advantage back in 1990, around then. And little by little, Barça have been catching them up. And on Saturday, 5 goals, took us 1 goal past them, and they failed to score in their defeat at Levante. So very satisfying. Negatives from the weekend are the news of Sergio Roberto's injury. He'll be out for 3 or 4 weeks. But besides that, everything's been very positive. So, anyway, today I want to take a quick look back at the Éibar game. It was a bit of a strange day. Started with protests, and then there were the protests against President Bartomeu asking for his resignation. Then there was a 7-minute delay because of technical problems with the VAR signals, I believe. They couldn't hear each other, and just demonstrates the problems that too much reliance on technology can give us. Anyway, the game didn't start too well. First 5 minutes we looked a bit shaky. Ter Stegen had to make a very good save, diving to his right. Didn't look great. First 15 minutes, Busquets gave the ball away too easily. And then Messi started to do his business. 3 goals in the first half, a hat-trick, and then the end of the game finished with a 4th for Messi and a goal for Arthur Melo. There was a promising 15 minutes from Martin Braithwaite, who came on, looked very lively, was involved in the 2 goals, setting up Messi for his 4th, and it's his shot that caused a save from the goalkeeper to give Arthur an easy finish for the 5th. Very promising. I think tactically, the most interesting thing about the game was the position of Arturo Vidal, who played wide on the left, where you might have expected Ansu Fati to have begun the game, or even Martin Braithwaite might have started there. But Quique Setien put Vidal wide on the left, so sometimes when we lost the ball, he could move back to midfield and it was like a 4-4-2. But most of the time he stayed wide on the left, a 4-3-3 shape, and obviously showed he's not a left winger. I don't think anybody's going to try and claim he is. We lacked a little bit of incisiveness on the left. I think Junior Firpo had another disappointing game. Obviously difficult, filling in for Jordi Alba to do what Jordi Alba does, but we do miss Jordi Alba. What else? Well, with Griezmann's missed chances. I'm not too worried. I think he's class, Griezmann. I've liked him since he was at Real Sociedad, a youngster, and he's a classy player. I'm not worried. I think he's finishing first class. Just had a bit of an off day. I think when he got taken off, the crowd gave him generous applause. I don't think there's anything to worry about there. I think positives, we can say, well, obviously Messi. It was a clean sheet. Ter Stegen had to make 3 saves, or 3 good saves. He made about 6 saves in all, but 3 were decent saves. It was a good sign to see Arthur Melo play the 90 minutes, because we so often see him get substituted after about 65 minutes, but he lasted the pace. And obviously Braithwaite, I think, surprised quite a few people. Looked very promising, very enthusiastic, obviously loving the opportunity that he's got. It was only 15 minutes he was on, so perhaps we can't really judge him on that. I can't help remembering Maxi Lopez. I don't know if you remember Maxi Lopez back in about 2004, I think, 2004-2005 season. He was a winter signing. Scored a big goal against Chelsea in the Champions League, and then didn't do very much after that at all. I'm hoping Braithwaite won't be the same, but he's already done more than Boateng last year did in half a season, so positive signs there. Negatives, I think, again, I said Junior Firpo is not really to the standard that we need him to be. And it was about 10 minutes after Frankie de Jong came on that we looked a little bit shaky. And there was a comment in the comment section from Mustafa asking about what I thought about de Jong. Firstly, I think he's a class act. Like I say, Griezmann is a class act. Still adapting a little bit. I mean, I think he's been brought in as a replacement eventually for Busquets. But when he's played in Busquets' position, we've suffered. I think all the early defeats in the season were when Busquets wasn't playing. So we'll see. But I think that's where he'll play eventually. But he can play midfield in, where Rakitic or Arthur Melo plays in that role, linking up very easily. He doesn't lose possession very easily. So good future there. Okay, well, need to have a look forward now to the Napoli game. Champions League back, going to Napoli. It's going to be tough. I'm pretty sure of that. Napoli have had a funny season. They began with Carlo Ancelotti, who last season took them to second place in the Italian league. But they had a bit of a disappointing start to the season. They sacked Ancelotti in December and brought in Gattuso as a new manager. And if any of you remember Gattuso as a player, you'll know that his team is going to be competitive. They're going to fight. He was one of the most competitive, battling midfield players you're likely to see. A World Cup winner with Italy in 2006, Champions League winner with AC Milan in 2007. As a player, very few like him. A little bit in the Arthur Vidal style of, never say die. So I imagine his team will be similar. His CV as a manager is not so great. He's flopped a little bit, but Napoli are beginning to hit some form. When he came in, I think he only had 1 victory in the first 5 games, 1 win and 4 defeats in his first 5 games. But the last 5 games, he's had 4 wins and 1 defeat in the league. He's also got Napoli into the semi-finals of the Italian Coppa, and they've got a first leg lead against Inter Milan there, so they look favourites to go through to the final. They also beat Juventus at the end of January, 2-1. So we know they're capable of beating the big sides. In the Champions League, they beat Liverpool. They beat Liverpool at home, and they got a 1-1 draw at Anfield. So they're capable of competing against us. And I'm worried that if we don't really find a fighting performance, we may suffer. We really must avoid the big defeat, which we've had in recent years. We've had heavy defeats at Roma, PSG, and of course at Liverpool last season. We also had a 2-0 defeat at AC Milan 5 or 6 seasons ago. We need to avoid a big defeat. A 1-goal defeat, I'm sure we can turn it around at Camp Nou. I'm hoping we'll get a draw. I'm hoping we'll get a win, but a draw would be a very good result. A win, fantastic. I think I'll go for a 1-1 draw. That's my prediction. If you want to put your prediction in the comment section, put your comment down below, and we'll see who does best. In the first game, we had no winners. I had a 3-0 prediction, which I thought was going well until Messi scored his fourth. Anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow. As you can see, the channel needs some work. I need to learn a lot of things about making videos. At the moment, I'm doing it like this, speaking straight to you, no editing. I'll just put it straight out, warts and all. I'd like your feedback. If you've got suggestions, if the things you don't like, if the things that you think I could make better. It's very early stages. I'm sure I'll learn as I go along. I've got a long list of to-do things, and I don't want to go crazy working 24 hours now. So it's little by little I'll be trying to improve things, and well, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like the video if you like it, and subscribe if you like the channel. I need all the support I can get from you. So I'll be back on Wednesday with a look back at the Napoli game, and perhaps we'll start to look forward to the Clasico game with Real Madrid next weekend. Okay, all the best, people. Visca Barça. Speak to you soon.